call this session of the Historic Review Board for April 16th, 2019 to order. Roll call, please.
Sal Peck.
Stu.
Susan Adam.
Moment of silence. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the agenda format?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda format for April 16th, 2019.
Make a motion to move agenda item J up to the top of the list. That applicant is not applicant.
Okay.
So I can move J to A.
I approve. Approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
So the first agenda item would be item J.
Then we have public comments first.
Are there any comments?
Are there no public comments?
No.
Any?
And the unfinished business was the election of officers, which is going to take place next month.
No, this is
No.
to elect the chair and the vice chair for this meeting.
We just did.
You just gotta do it.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will do it again.
Make a motion to elect Terry Stroud as the president.
Approve.
I think Sandra, you have to second that.
Oh, I second it.
All in favor? Aye. She wants to make a motion on vice president.
I make a motion to approve the vice president as Susan Green.
I second it.
Aye. Okay, new business.
New business is item J.
So,
I-42 Mason Avenue.
so if you can't hear, y'all should maybe speak up a little bit louder. So J was moved to be the first item.
Yes.
So this is Chris here?
Yes.
Yeah, you can come on up and explain your project if you want.
How are you guys today?
I think.
Great, how are you?
Good. I bought the house last year, and
Congratulations.
well, thank you. And I started replacing the siding and windows and wasn't aware I had to come to the district at first, and I do apologize for that. I stopped once I found out and talked to Jeff, and he allowed me to finish all those things.
Can I interrupt you a second for the record? Can you just state your name and the address of the
Christopher.
property?
Christopher Haderbana, 542 Madison Avenue.
Thank you.
So now I'm applying for the front porch, screened-in porch project.
Give it a second, we're getting to the pictures. It was Jay.
So can you tell us what you're doing?
I was going to do a covered hip porch over screen with AZAC flooring and wrapped everything to match the existing house. Going to try to eliminate rails. I think I have, it's only like 20-some inches off the ground.
Is it 28 inches? That's the minimum?
I think it's 30.
Yeah.
So the guidelines state that the porch should, on a new construction, should be as similar as possible, like the other properties in the neighborhood.
I know there are a lot of shed roofs.
Yeah, I guess I'm talking about the screening.
Okay.
None of the other homes in the neighborhood have screening, just one.
There's only one other one?
Yeah. And I think screening is fine on the side and the back, but this board usually recommends no screening in the front.
Gotcha.
The hip roof seems fine. Did the porch, tell us about the porch that you tore down.
Prior to the porch, it was across the whole front. It actually wrapped down the left side too. There's a little side entry door that it actually wrapped down all the way down to that side.
And what are you gonna do outside that side door now?
I just wanted to make a landing and steps and was gonna pour just a little concrete lead walk, kind of just wrapping around the house to the back.
And you already discussed that with,
Jeb, yeah, he said that I can't, it's
maybe
gotta
4
be,
feet, 3 feet
yeah,
square.
it's gotta be 3 by 3. Is there a code on the sidewalk, like how wide I can make the sidewalk? Is that,
That's more of planning, and yeah, you can encroach into the side yard with your sidewalk.
with the sidewalk, right, you just can't be distracted?
Yeah.
Did you draw these plans?
I did,
Well done.
thank you.
If you were not given permission to do the screening, these square posts would remain and no railing, is that what you're proposing?
Yes, ma'am. I will maybe take a post out or two. I added another post in there just for, because the screening is supposed to be, I didn't want a full span, it's all wavy.
So on page 44 of the Historic District Guidelines, it talks about a full width, 1-story porch is the most common type of porch, Kew Charles. Item number 4 on page 45 of the Historic District Guidelines states the following. Include porches on new residential construction. Nearly all of the district residents have porches, and new porches should reflect the size, height, and materials of porches on historic buildings on the street. Your house previously had a wraparound porch, and you usually go to what you usually had, but I think in this case, I could see my way clear to not worrying about the wraparound on the front porch. But I would make a motion that you have permission to build a front porch with a hip roof.
The only reason I did
Provided
that,
it's,
2 windows in the front, so there's no headroom to do a shed roof.
yeah, that's fine. But provided it's not screened and it does have a railing consistent with the other porch railings in the neighborhood.
So no screen with a rail? Okay.
You have a second on that?
And it's seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you guys very much.
Have fun building it.
I appreciate it.
Excuse me, we got a motion.
So now you make a motion. Do you want me to repeat it, Trace?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Please follow the.
So the first one is 532 Jefferson.
Yes. So we'll now have 542 Jefferson. Are they here? And the second one is?
It's 213 Madison. 213 Madison Avenue.
Yes. 213 Madison Avenue.
Or
If you come forward and state your name for the record.
Steve Joseph, 213 Madison Avenue. It's Steve, and owned by Ted Leonard. How you doing, Sid?
Hi.
Zach?
Do you want to summarize your project?
Sure, we're proposing to build just a basic deck on the back side of the house, not visible by the road, fully contained inside of the structure. Like if this is the building here, no part of the deck goes beyond either side of the structure. It'll be like a 10-foot extension, and then actually comes back here, and the stairs come down, so none of it goes beyond the back side of the thing. It's very similar to other porches in the area. I submitted pictures of other porches that look almost identical to it. Just made of standard pressure treated wood, picketed.
It's pretty similar to the other porches. Adjoining.
It does.
No questions?
No questions.
Motion to approve?
I second it.
All in favor?
242.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
D. Strawberry.
Are you going to order these?
We're 217 Jefferson.
D is strawberry.
D.
Where's
Yeah.
The new house.
See, application for appropriateness at 217 Jefferson.
David Cobb, 217 Jefferson. We're proposing to take the aluminum siding off, put vinyl siding on it. This is the name of the company. The material is insulated, and we have to put another 40-inch insulation behind that. And we will have the insulation in the house.
What's currently behind the aluminum siding?
There's no chip wrap, is that what you're saying?
What is it?
It's this board that went up down like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what that's called.
Shiplap, not wood siding.
Wood?
Not wood siding.
Not wood siding.
Framing.
Okay.
Yeah. And the color we're going with is correct. And we're the only house on Howard Street that which is a 1940s line. And all the paint's come off of it. It looks really bad. And this is also
So how
mold and mildew resistant.
how wide is that plank?
We can do it in a 6 or a 7.
I think the guidelines state no wider than 5.
Oh, we can do it in a 5. We come in a 5. What's on there now is a 7. The aluminum siding is a 7.
The guidelines state that it has to be no wider than 5.
That's right.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
The guidelines really recommend, again, as close to existing as possible. And it does make a provision for solid surface aggregate siding such as hardy board or hardy plank,
We decided not to go with
a
that.
solid
Because
composite.
we didn't want to paint it again. And the reason we were going with the 6 or the 7 is because it's closer to the side and it's already on the house. Now, the hardy board you're talking about, is that a same size, 5 inch?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
The question was, the hardy board is that a 5 inch?
It can come in any.
Can,
Yeah. Like this, coming in any length? Yeah, we decided not to do the hardy board. We could get away with it.
Well, that's the question. The question is, the recommendation of the historic district is that you use a composite material and not the vinyl siding.
Well, we'd rather use vinyl siding if we could.
That's why we have guidelines.
Well, my next door neighbor just put a brand new house up with vinyl siding.
So there's vinyl, what you have there is a vinyl sheet that goes over the styrofoam backing. There's also vinyl composite products that are solid surface material that replicate wood grain on the surface.
The problem with that was,
So-
we don't have the insulation, so we needed insulation for the house.
I think it might be worth it to take the time to investigate the other materials and the insulated properties that they have. And come back next month, defer the answer to next month. Because that, in its size and in its form, doesn't meet the guidelines at present.
Okay, so what I need to do,
Consider replacing the product with a vinyl composite product that is 5 inches and bring it back to us next month.
okay,
Make a motion to defer this applicant to next month, new materials.
or could I just say, I can go with a deposit and just put more insulation behind it?
I think we need to see the material that you selected.
It'd be the same material but without the
So
insulation.
I think it needs to be a composite, solid surface, final product is fine. AZEK or cement fiberboard or whatever else you choose that is a molded vinyl composite is fine.
So I can't use
That
vinyl
vinyl
siding.
product over the
No vinyl siding.
styrofoam is not, it's not consistent with the guideline.
Okay, can
Historic
you use
district
vinyl
review
siding?
board. You can use vinyl composite products,
yes.
yes.
But it can't be insulated.
It can't be a sheet that covers over either a former wood shingle or, in this case, your styrofoam insulation. That's a flexible, if you took your styrofoam out from behind that, it's a flexible piece of vinyl. Vinyl composites are thick, they're 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, depending upon what you choose, 5/8, and then the width can come in 5, 6, 7. In this case, you need to have a 5-inch wide vinyl composite product that would be inflexible. It would be 1/2 inch or 5/8 or 3/4, whatever you choose to your liking, which is why we should give it some time to let you build up.
My problem is my neighbor put it on, why can't I?
We're just going by the guidelines, we're trying to be consistent with the guidelines.
We were not here, or nor did we
He just did
review.
it last year, you had to be here.
We can only address this application at
Right.
this time with the guidelines we have at this time.
Thank you.
217 Jefferson?
Jefferson. That was
217
yes.
Jefferson.
Strawberry.
Lots 82 and 83.
That's strawberry. New construction.
William Manning construction, lots 82 and 83 Strawberry Street.
625 or lot 82 and 83, Michael Better.
Mhm.
82 and 83.
82 and
82 and 83. Yes, ma'am, just, would like to, Mr. Better would like to build a new home on that residence. It's 2,100 square foot home. The siding we would use on it would be a hardy siding, pre-finished material, white is the preferred finish color that you would like to have. The exterior trim will all be white.
The width of the lap.
Yes, it would be a 6-inch exposure on the siding itself.
That would be fine.
So the zoning ordinance states 5.
Yeah.
No, we can make it 5, that's no problem.
Okay, so I drove over there yesterday. And noticed that all the houses across the street and around to the side on Strawberry and Washington are one-level homes. And you're proposing a 2.5-story home.
The houses around the area are 1 story, and there's nothing significant about the windows. This particular house, were it constructed, would stand out from the rest of the street. It doesn't blend into the street.
We just received approval to build one 2-story on Washington, which is directly behind this lot.
Okay?
For
On Washington
David
Avenue?
Drags. Yes, ma'am. This is on Washington Street, which is 3 lots around from that. Which is basically on that same corner.
But they're not on the same street.
No, ma'am. But I did build one on the corner of Jefferson and Washington, on Strawberry, a 2-story home, which is identical to the one we're getting ready to build on Washington, on that corner.
With the glass in 3rd story?
Yes, ma'am, it was a 2.5-story home.
With glass all the way around it?
Glass all the way around it? No, ma'am, this home doesn't have glass all the way around it.
Okay. The pictures we have
The pictures we have show
shows glass all the way around it.
Okay, page 22 of the Historic District Guideline discusses new construction projects and how they must be compatible with the architectural character of the district, specifically the surrounding buildings, in terms of setback orientation, spacing, and distance from the building. Also states that the design of new buildings should be compatible with size, scale, proportion, and form of the surrounding buildings, including roofs, windows, doors, front facade. The existing homes closest to this property are 1-story ranch style homes.
There again, less than 3 lots over on Strawberry Street, we have a 2-story home. Right next to it, there's a 2-story home. 625, where I'm requesting to build a garage on there, is a 2-story home. And that was approved last year.
But it isn't 3-story.
Actually, it's only a 2-story. The actual 3rd story is not full story, it's only a 2.5. It's a more or less an observatory for looking out onto the bay from that particular home.
I see that, but it does appear to be 3 stories.
Right, the view shed from the street shows 3 stories of windows. Yeah. It's only 2.5 to the 2nd story dormer windows.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and it takes a 1/3 on the observatory there. So the front elevation, are those sliding glass doors in the center?
No, ma'am, that's a French door. It's a full view French door that they wanted on front.
With panes?
Yes, it will
Windows?
have panes. I didn't show those on here, but it will have panes. It'll be a 19 light door.
And how many lights are the one-overs?
The windows above,
On either side of the French door? They show now
Oh, those are
pictures of
windows.
1/1.
those are windows.
Are
And
they
they'll
1/1?
be the same as the ones in the doors. There'll be a 9 over,
9 light
yes.
over 1.
Mhm.
So I guess the question is a prevailing standard in that street view. The houses that are adjacent to it across the street are one-level ranches. There is an
Yes, that's the
exception
whole street.
with a two-story down the street. But there are no 3 stories.
Mhm. Well, if it comes down to the approval on that, if we have to take that off, then I'll take it off. I mean, I can remove that, that area if need be.
The glass part.
Yes, ma'am, the upper 3rd floor, it's actually a half a floor, it's not a full floor, because the stairwell itself takes up a portion of that area. So it's basically not a living area, it's just there for viewing out over the bay, that's all it's there for.
We could do a conditional approval to see the plans next month, if you could move ahead.
With removing the glass. The third.
The third story.
Story, right.
I would make a motion to approve the application for a 2-story house minus the 3rd story,
That area, okay.
Yeah. with your, come back next month with a new elevation
Yes. Mhm.
and fix on the elevation, fix the doors and the
Mhm.
windows on the first
Mhm.
level,
Okay.
and we can review for the final.
There's a motion to accept the application with the removal of the 3rd story and the doors on the front, fix those, and to review it again next month.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
In favor?
Aye.
Next one is, I believe, 526 Strawberry.
526 Strawberry.
Is it?
Yes.
William Manning.
Again?
Okay.
Welcome back.
This one is to build a garage in the back left corner of the piece of property at that address. Basically, it is a 494 square foot garage with a small workshop on the right-hand side. As you can see on the drawings, it's the siding and everything will match the existing home so that all the contour of the construction will be basically the same. It pretty much, it's not an elaborate building, but I think it does fit in well in that corner with matching with the home itself.
It does, it's well designed. So the material, the siding will be the same as the siding
Same as
that's on
on
the
the
house
home
right
right
It's
now?
on.
Existing home, so every color and everything will be identical to that, as well as the shingles and so forth.
And the floor will be cement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There'll be a raised slab floor in the workshop. The rest of it will be at ground level with like a normal garage. Yes, ma'am.
Any questions? No?
Nope.
I make a motion to approve the application.
There's been a motion made to approve the application for the garage at 526 Strawberry.
Uh-huh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. 602 Tazewell. Somebody here to speak to 602 Tazewell?
This is Sean Ingram. Is he here?
615 Monroe.
Yes. Two-story access.
Jack Gray here for 615 Monroe. And we are proposing a two-story accessory unit in the back, the first story of which would be a garage, and the second story of which would be like an efficiency. And as far as I know, we are within all of the guidelines for constructing it. The exterior material is a hardy plank, or I think that's a brand name, but it's that sort of material.
Cement fiberboard?
Cement fiberboard. Thank you. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I mean, it could be vinyl composite too, and I don't know if Hardy makes both.
Yeah.
It'll be a white vinyl.
Pardon me?
Do you know, have you selected a material?
I think we put in the application that would be a hardy plank type material.
It says cementous. How do we say that?
Cementous, okay. Tell us about the landing for the stairs that goes up the side of the alley. Because
Okay.
in your elevation, it doesn't show any stairs. Right? It says there will be a landing for the stairs that will go to the alley. The stairs are not depicted in this drawing.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
No.
Didn't look at your drawing?
The creator of the drawing is much better than I am, but she's across the world right now. So, it would have a landing because there'd be stairs going up to the second level, and there'd be a door to get in there, and like a landing would be there. I think like 6 feet.
There's a railing next to the stairs.
Oh, of course. Grandchildren growing up there, you do not want anybody falling off.
And even with the stairs, that'll still meet within the setback? If the stairs are up to the
Because
side?
they weren't shown, I'm not sure. I'd actually have to see this.
I think we checked this out, and the stairs are able to be within the setback.
Yeah,
If it's a side, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it on the side?
just come down the side.
Mhm.
Yeah. But no closer than 4 feet, I believe, to the line. I believe that's.
Yeah, and trust me, we don't want it too close, because, you know, that's an alley way back there, and we don't want to have an issue like the work trucks or garbage trucks or that type of thing are coming through, so it's important to us that we do have enough space back there.
Do you have any engineering architectural elevations or just this rendering?
We don't have architectural plans for it at this point. I think we would get them, but our sense was that until we cleared the approval process, that would not be a wise investment. So our plan is, you know, based on what you've seen, you can buy the plans that go with that. What we thought was the most important was to give you the dimensions of it, the elevations, and that sort of thing, so you could determine what the footprint was,
Right.
that sort of
And
thing.
that is all there.
It's a big piece of property.
Yeah, it looks lovely. I make a motion to approve the application as presented.
I make a motion to approve the property at 615 Monroe.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for 615 Monroe.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Good luck.
Congratulations.
Just turning.
619 Jefferson. Maybe you see
Good evening. My name is Sheriff Sanderman, and I propose to build a new home in this beautiful city. So, and I'll go along small wood.
So tell us what you're gonna
Tell
do.
us about the property.
It is basically a 1920s to 30s craftsman, in keeping with everything that's around here, an old beach bungalow. And I hope to meld in with everyone else that's on the street, a one-story, higher pitch. I do have a mock shake shingle above the porch area just for a little difference from all one color is what the bottom is regular siding, to look like a mock painted shingle, cedar shake. Other than that, that's it, just a typical little beach bungalow. Now I do have, I think it states on the plans for the pickets and the rail to be like an iron railing, but I'm gonna go with regular pickets, like regular wood white pickets like everyone else.
And they would be wood.
Well, it would be wrapped. It's the vinyl,
Vinyl wrap.
the wrapped whatever that's in my plans here. So I prefer to go with that instead of the iron.
Vinyl wrap,
I don't know.
and you have that on there.
Yes, it's vinyl wrapped.
So from the front elevation, we see this side porch, the side deck.
Yes, it's just a small little deck block up there, yes. Going back into the sunroom. Eventually, I'll have a side, a ramp up the side of the house up to there in case I need to take care of my mom and have a wheelchair going up through the double doors in the back. Because the back of the home is eventually going to be for my mom.
Zach, would that need to be approved?
Oh, I'm not doing that yet, that'll be down the
Would
road.
it?
It will,
It
yeah, we
will,
haven't
when that-
discussed it.
Yeah,
She'll come back to me.
yeah, I'll come back when that's time, but I'm just preparing for future needs for my mother and so forth.
There isn't a lot of detail on the windows and doors on the front elevation. Can you tell me about the windows and doors?
Is there not a picture of the door? There should be a picture of the
There's
door.
well, the way it's depicted, it's a flat slab with a transom.
Oh, no, I have a regular, I'm sorry, I guess that didn't get into the paperwork, and I also do, it's regular grid windows that I have here that I can show you. Let me just put this down over here. And I'll show you a picture of the door as well. The door is really quite beautiful. Sorry, everyone.
Problem? No, if you have it, that's helpful, that's great.
Okay, but I do, I have it on my cell phone because I took a picture of the door so that I always have it. And like I said, it's quite
What's the address?
a beautiful door. Very much in keeping with the time era. I happen to get it on sale, I guess. Here it is. Here's the front door.
That fits the guidelines?
And it fits the window that I have up in the eaves there. It's the same style.
This 2x2?
Yeah, it has, I have another window that is very much like the,
So it has that prairie style?
it does, it has
Where
the
the-
prairie, it's just like this window right here. It's the same prairie style type window.
Is it clouded glass or clear?
It probably will be clouded up here because otherwise you'll see the eaves, you'll see the wood in the,
It says that's an operable sash window.
oh, that's what my architect said, I'm sorry. So
It's
we
not a
just-
sash though.
No, it shouldn't be an
Is it
operable.
hinged? Does it operate
No,
as a
it's not
shutter?
hinged at all because you have really no access up there. Hold on and I'll show you the window. I have a picture of the window as well.
And while you're looking, if you find the windows that are flanking the front.
I do, and look, I have a picture of the door. And here are the windows. And certainly I can change the windows to the standard prairie style windows. Here are the windows, they have the regular bars in them. This is a stationary.
6/6? No.
The front windows are,
They're one pane.
the front windows are casement windows.
Oh,
That's not really consistent with the guidelines or the neighborhood.
The casements.
no.
Well, if I change them, I mean, I'm not opposed to changing them. I can have the architect do that. This is the stationary window that's above the porch, and as you can see, it
That's
goes very,
consistent?
it goes very consistent with the
That's
door.
Consistent? Yeah.
So, can we move forward with the contingency that I changed the
Yeah, I can't have casement windows.
I can, okay, that's fine. I don't have, now Tom, the guy who used to be in charge of city planning, he has casement windows in front of his house a few doors over.
A lot of things were done once.
Okay.
We're sticking with the guidelines as they read
That's
today.
fine,
And this
that's
board can
fine.
only interpret them as.
Yeah, and I understand that, so if we have the contingency, I
Appreciate
don't have
that.
any problems changing the windows.
Yes.
Change them.
I just
Okay.
want to clarify the width of your planks down here on the body of the house.
Well, they won't exceed 5 inches.
Correct.
But up here, this is what I was talking about.
Now, this says synthetic shingle. What does that mean? Is it
Well,
plastic?
it's certainty vinyl siding, whatever that is, the composite vinyl siding, it's all the same. It's just one is shaped like a shake and the other is like that.
Do you have a sample? You don't have a
I
sample?
don't have the
You
same.
don't have it in your picture book?
No, I don't have it in my picture book.
Okay.
However, my builder, he was at a baseball game tonight, so he didn't.
I appreciate how hard you worked to make that consistent and your flexibility.
Yeah, I have one more question. I have stone on it, however, and it's listed as stone. Here it is brick. I can go stone and I can go brick. I don't want to be stopped in the middle of the building for y'all to say we can't have the stone. But
That is more consistent.
okay, so I need to go with the brick.
So.
But I do have stone. I mean, it's in my plans.
I don't think that it would be,
Consistent with everyone else.
no, I don't think it would be out of place on that street.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't.
So we're okay
They're
with the
both
stone?
consistent with the
Okay,
guidelines.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad with that. So if we can move forward contingent on, what do you want 6/6 for the windows, or do you want the prairie style like
You
the
have
top?
a lot of choices.
Yeah.
So, but if we
Just
give
not
you a
basement.
conditional approval, so you can move ahead and break ground and
Yeah.
start, you can come back next month with your windows.
Okay,
Is that
so
good?
we can get started and I just have to change the windows. Okay, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I was a little crazy about casement.
Excuse me, it's
Yes.
30 days after you approve the application that they can start. So they can't get started right away.
Right.
Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, I can't get started anyway, so, but that's okay, I'll just have the architect change the windows, that's fine. And that, and I'm doing regular pickets on the porch, so do I need to change anything else other than that, are we good?
Okay, you wanna make a motion?
Good.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve 619 Jefferson Avenue.
I approve. I second the motion.
Caveat that the windows are being changed.
Oh, wait,
from
okay.
casements to sashes.
Right, now,
Or
the
something
only
more consistent
windows
with
that
the
are
guidelines.
basements are the front windows. The rest of the house is 6/6.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's
So that's all I have to change are the front
Mhm.
windows. Okay.
It doesn't look like 6/6 on the side elevation.
Now, the question
It
is,
looks like a casement.
on all the other windows are, no, they're all 6/6 windows. The only casements are the front ones. Except for the stationary ones, those two
These.
little small ones, which are just like the one that goes over the porch. They all match.
Okay.
Well, we need to add that you will be coming back next month with.
With my windows, my front windows. And that's it. Perfect. I like it.
So I second the motion to approve the
discussed instead of iron using vinyl and then the stone brick conversation. So just to clarify, when I'm looking at these applications, when they submit, I need to know exactly what you guys approve. If it deters anything from what is shown on the plans that they've submitted in their application, it needs to be stated in the motion. So like the inoperable window, vinyl instead of iron, etc. Those kind of things. So
Okay.
just want to make that clear, make it a clear motion.
Okay. The motion is for 619 Jefferson Avenue, new build, approved with the following caveats. The 2x2 window, and the loft is stationary, it is not a sash. The casement windows on the front of the house are being replaced with sashes, consistent with the other windows in the neighborhood. The face of the foundation is going to be brick or stone.
Brick or stone.
I think that's everything.
Okay.
Okay. Motion has been made and approved. All in favor?
All in favor? Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's fun.
Washington Avenue.
Lot 96, Washington Avenue, owner Jeff and Beth Howard. Nobody present for that?
Nobody here?
Excuse me, we can go ahead and put in our building permits.
You can.
Okay, just to be clear. Okay, thank you.
Okay, 542 Madison.
542 Madison. Anybody here for that?
That might be.
Chris Boto?
We don't have more than 5 Herzog in Madison, new builds.
542 Madison.
POTTO. Chris?
No, he already.
Oh, he already went.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
Oh, that's
I'm
right, we did
sorry.
that.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Okay. Right, skip.
We're on 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Three big streets.
Big Street.
Commercial parcel. Hello, building.
Evening, ladies.
Good evening.
I'm Josh Leibel. Hey, Zach. Hey,
Yes.
Old game.
That is a beautiful building you have to work on there.
It's quite a project.
Only example of Spanish Revival architecture that we have in this town.
Great.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's a very unique building, as you all have stated. I feel like it's, some people would say it's kind of the entryway to the town, so I feel like it's been kind of underutilized for a lot of years, and I feel like it's time for that to change. And I'd like to, fix it to original standards the best I can. One change being what I'm proposing tonight, the garage door. I don't think it needs to continue to be a greasy garage. I think it's better suited for other applications, and in order to put a functioning HVAC system in it and make it a more functional utilization, that door would need to be replaced. But I would like to keep within that same architectural standard and kind of have it blend in the front, which is why I'm proposing what I have drawn there.
So he's talking about this door
Yes.
that's
Yes.
taller than
Yes.
these windows?
Well, the guidelines state that in new construction or refurbishing a building, the windows and doors should remain pretty much the same.
Okay.
Now, this is a garage door, and I can understand why you want to get rid of it.
Right, it's a big one
But
too.
but it could be replaced with a glass door,
Okay.
which would give it the same feel as the windows across, and keep it from looking like a run-down garage door.
Okay.
So you could replace it with a glass garage door.
Right, I did check into that option. A lot due to the size, just the massive size of it, most of the companies that, in fact, all of them that came back, they had to come back with kind of like a series of squares, if that makes any sense, just because of the structure of it. And I had did kind of some mock renderings and it looked kind of, it just didn't fit in. I couldn't find anybody that could do one that would kind of, you know, blend into that architecture and kind of not look out of place, if that makes any sense, with the adjacent windows that are in the building currently. So, you know, again, I have no use for it to operate, or I have no, you know, I don't really see it becoming a garage again.
No, but it does take away from its original structure.
In the original history of that building, it was, as you know, I'm sure, it was a pure oil
Right.
station for a while. It was DeSoto car dealership
Right,
for a
yeah,
while.
yep.
It's always had a garage door there.
Okay,
I think it needs to remain a garage door.
okay.
So I would deny this application, and you can come back with different
You'll have,
Different
just-
garage door options that we can approve at a later time.
Okay, well, just so I'm not, I don't mean to disrespect, just so I'm not spinning my wheels, do y'all have any kind of thoughts or anything that you can kind of throw out as to what you would think would fit in? Because like I said, I've only been able to, you know, see and quotes and things so forth of the box squares, so to speak. It's so big, the structure wouldn't allow it to, and the operation of it wouldn't allow it to be a large glass panel like the adjacent windows, so. But again, when I do that mock drawing, it really looks.
Yeah, I imagine you're gonna have to check with some other industrial door fabricators
Okay.
to this specification.
I mean,
A building like that is not going to be
Okay.
easily suited by a standard stock item, most likely.
Right, well, I mean, again, I'm just saying, I am in the business, I'm working in lumber, and that's why I said, I mean, I've checked with, gosh, 15, 16 different companies. I mean, I've really done a lot of research on, you know, how this works, and, you know, we do it, there's tons of garage doors companies, and I'm not saying it's not out there, but in my findings, I didn't see any other real feasible options, but.
At the bottom of the hump, D'Angelo's house, I believe Ed put a glass garage door on the back of that.
Okay.
If you,
The brown one?
yes,
A Ford dealership?
pardon me?
The Ford dealership?
No. If you were, what's that street? They're on the corner of
Madison.
Vincent.
Madison
And Nectarine.
yeah, and Nectarine.
Okay.
Well, it's a brown colored building,
Yeah,
and it was,
used to be.
they
Behind
made it into,
Coastal Bakery.
So
No, it's
across the
not.
street from the bakery.
Across.
And they made it into a livable and
Right.
house.
It has the
And-
Bahama shutters?
Yes,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
I believe that he has his car, he originally put a rug in there and put his special car in it, but I believe they have glass doors.
Okay.
So you just take a look.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, I
y'all-
sympathize, it's not gonna be easy and quick to find, but I know when I drive around, you know, Virginia Beach or Norfolk, restaurants often have these sorts of roll-up glass doors. I think I most recently saw one at Taste over in the Ghent neighborhood.
Okay.
I mean,
So y'all would like to see, I mean, it has to be operational?
a roll-up
doesn't-
glass door.
It doesn't have to be operational, but it needs to be a glass door.
I'm not sure I understand the door that doesn't
Oh.
operate.
It needs to look like a garage door.
Okay.
I
Does
think
it have to be operational?
you're supposed to replace a light door with a light door. It's operational, it has to be operational.
That'd be a big hindrance as far as like the mechanisms that are hanging in the ceiling and so forth. I mean, would you consider a fix?
Okay, number 1 on page 39 of the Historic District Guidelines state, retain original windows and doors, including glass hardware to the extent possible.
Okay.
It also states the doors help to define the building's particular style.
Okay.
So,
So you would like to see it operational?
I'd like to see that. It is the first building that everybody that drives into this town is going to see, and it's a pristine example. It hasn't had a lot of modifications to it. And I think as close as we can keep it to operational, we can go with glass. It doesn't have to stay steel, but it does need to resemble a rolling garage door.
So, what do you mean reasonable?
It needs to be a rolling glass door. It can be glass, it doesn't have to be metal,
It doesn't
but
have
it
to
needs
be
to be
separate.
operational.
Okay. So even if it's never opened ever, we still have to make it.
You don't ever have to open it.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
So we need a motion for that? A motion for 3 Fig Street is divided.
I'd recommend deferral until,
Referral.
yeah,
Deferral.
because if you deny it, then you have to pay the fee and go through the whole.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Mhm.
So we're going to defer it till the applicant comes back with a glass operational garage door option.
I second the motion. Lot 26.
So now we are at
265 Madison Avenue. Applicant Mitchell Holmes, Stephanie Page, and David Jackson.
Yes.
Hi. My name is Stephanie Page. I don't know the address of our house.
It's
265.
265 Madison Avenue.
My name is David Jackson, 265 Madison Avenue.
So tell us what you're gonna do.
We're gonna start battling Keith Charles.
But you're gonna build a house first.
Yes. Hopefully spare too. Yes, so we are looking to build a 2-story house. It's about 1,500 square feet on Madison Ave. It is a Craftsman style home. It is a vinyl exterior siding and also the shake up in the top in the roof area. And then also stone columns. However, if you would like us to do brick, we can absolutely do that.
Okay.
I'm
We're
looking
first
at,
timers, we're not sure.
Okay, so
I'm looking at your chimney.
Oh, yes. We have a fire,
Woodbury.
wood burning fireplace.
A wood burning fireplace. And is that vinyl covered?
Yes, it will be, it's
We should be vinyl casing.
Okay. Is there a reason why you chose that instead of stone? Brick?
cost.
Yeah,
Cost.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was their original, they didn't even suggest doing stone or brick. Probably for.
they should have. That would be consistent with the guidelines and the character of the neighborhood.
Okay.
We have a lot of those in town, so there's not a lot we can say.
I see your siding is listed as the Certainty Main Street double 5-inch Dutch lap vinyl siding.
Yes.
Okay, so, again, I have that question that we had for the applicant earlier. Is this a vinyl composite product? Do you have a sample?
We don't have
Is
a
it a flexible
sample.
vinyl?
I can show you a picture. This is gonna be the door, and you can also see the stone too. So that will be the door, that gray and white stone, and then that's the shape vinyl, but that's the color that we're going with the house.
That looks like a composite.
Yeah.
That's the shape, but you don't have the lap.
They didn't have an actual sample in the model house.
But you will have the lap.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
But just to be clear, we're
Yes.
talking about a density
Right.
product, right? An
Yes.
molded product,
Yes.
not a flexible product over styrofoam.
No.
Okay.
There was one thing that we did add, I'm not quite sure, I think we added after we submitted, we do want to do a screened porch in the back. It's an 8x12 screened porch right off the kitchen. So it would be right off the sliding doors. It would be a roof cover.
A gable roof, a shed
Yes.
roof,
A gable
hip roof, gable roof?
Yes.
Gable roof?
Yeah,
Right off the kitchen?
yes.
Parched block foundation?
Yes, on the opposite side.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
The block foundation is parched block. And that's a stucco type product, which is not consistent with the guideline. Could you wrap that stone, face right around?
Is that what's on your?
No, it's a cinder block foundation, and then they're gonna finish it with that.
They were gonna plunge over the cinder block here,
What she's saying is the stucco material.
but Porgy is just another stucco product, and that's specifically stated against in our guidelines. But they said they can bring this over, this stone face completely.
That stone face,
Yeah.
yes, that would be good.
The specifications of the screen porch in the back, is that gonna keep them within their setbacks? Do they need to clear that?
They need to definitely resubmit for that,
Yeah. So we can approve this application as presented with the changes of cladding the chimney in a stone product, cladding the porch foundation in a stone product. But you have to make another application for the
Okay, it would be 8 feet or closer towards the alley that he approved or should be.
that would be fine.
Okay.
So you could do something like with the condition that they resubmit elevations showing the porch for the approval of the zoning administrator, if you feel confident in that, or to come back, whatever y'all decide. There's options that
Did you say that?
It's in the back of the house, so it's really not in our purview to approve the back of the house. That would have to be subject to the approval of the zoning administrator, right?
Yeah. Did you say the stone, the chimney was gonna be clad in stone? No.
The chimney, we said, yes, or brick.
Would you prefer the stone or the brick or which other?
Either one is consistent with the guidelines.
Okay.
We can't make
Instead of the
any
vinyl,
decisions.
it's gonna be brick,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Was that clear as mud, Tracy? Should I say that again? Okay. The application for, number is 265 Madison. It's approved with the following changes. The chimney and the foundation block will be clad in stone or
Brick.
and the proposed screened-in back porch, which is not depicted currently in the renderings, will be resubmitted, subject to the approval of the zoning board. Right?
For zoning administrator,
For
no.
the zoning administrator.
Right.
Other than that, I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
It's adorable.
Thank you so much.
So the motion has been made and approved.
The motion is made, somebody has to second it.
I
We all
second
have to, all in favor, aye.
She's gonna kill us.
I know.
So 6A, that's here.
Oh, 6A. Is that strawberry, you know?
It's the 542 Jefferson, it's the first application.
I apologize, it's been a half hour to get here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You have rush hour.
Yeah, well, that's why I want to move over here, so I don't have to deal with this.
Or,
Thank you. I'm Dave Doherty, I'm co-owner of Bad Dog Investments.
Well, yeah.
give us
you
a
guys-
second to pull up the,
This is
542.
542 Jefferson.
Yes. The mailing address for this particular structure is actually 509
Nectarine.
Nectarine. I keep wanting to call it Tangerine.
I'd like to give a summary of this one when you'll be ready. Just, it's a little bit more complicated.
Okay. I'll let you do it.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right.
This is Jefferson, right? Not
Yes.
Madison.
542 Jefferson.
So the applicant, and you can just speak after me on anything that you're ready for.
We've had enough conversations that.
Yeah. So this is 542 Jefferson Avenue is where the primary structure is located. There's a accessory, right now it's a dwelling in the rear, a small little one-story home. It's also on that same property that the applicant is proposing to demolish and rebuild as a two-story accessory dwelling unit. So the applicant has stated that they're going to have 2 bedrooms, one of them being an office for his home business, and then with more conversation with the applicant, the height is proposed to be 27 as shown. They're allowed 24 feet in height for an accessory structure, so they would have to get a variance for that for it to be approved as submitted. If not approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals, then the roof pitch would change. So just be aware of that when you're reviewing.
Right, and the reason was we were trying to stay with the architectural fitting for the pitch of the roof.
Is that the same pitch as the house?
I can't swear it's identical, but it's very, very close. So the visual.
Do you know?
There's a picture of the home.
Is
Yeah.
the house 27 or 24?
Oh, no, so,
The house is.
yeah, it's
like
higher. However, they will have to get a variance, and if denied, then the pitch is gonna have to change.
I see
So
what
we
you're
can
saying.
leave that with them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then another aspect of this is accessory, so the situation is,
It's not on a foundation that I could see, right?
It's
The-
not
the
sitting on the
structure-
ground.
Talking to Mr. Dodd, who, it was a family property for, I don't know how, he thinks that it actually was a horse stable at one point. And it was set on stone or blocks, and then they put rough-hewn timber down. That's the foundation. And sometime in, I think, either World War I or World War II era, it was converted to a single-family home. And it's been that. There were
Series of
2
rentals.
tenants in it that I had to.
And then you want to live in this while you renovate the property on the corner?
Yes, that's an extensive renovation that's needed. That building needs to be saved, and it's going to be
I'm
quite
so
a
happy to
project.
hear you say that.
Well, I've worked in this industry for a while. I've worked in Newcastle, historic Newcastle, Delaware, Pennsylvania. I worked with Stonehouse Builders in Pennsylvania. That's Jeff Devlin, modernizing and saving structures like this. And this one is probably one of the more difficult tasks I've seen in a while.
So-
This round louvered vent at the top of the pitch?
On the house is that.
But, round, hold on. Let's see.
Right here, in front elevation?
That's the house.
See if I can get you a larger. That's a louvered vent. Or air flow. Are you seeing it?
Yeah,
You don't
that's
see-
the one I'm looking at.
Okay, there's one on each side, yeah. What's your question about that?
It just struck me as inconsistent.
The option there would be to put a ridge vent and easement on the roof. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at the right elevation, and I see you have the 2 railings astride the center section is standing proud of that.
Yeah, right here.
Right here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I have a large picture of it. So on this,
Can you hold that? So my question is, are these 2 different entrances? Is this going to be egress to up and this to the, or?
no, it's two different doors, both going to the first floor. There's one set of steps that goes upstairs.
Okay, so this is never going to be divided into duplex situation?
No, and matter of fact, the main house is currently, and I'm talking about being restored to the standard. It's not large enough to do that. what I see potentially is I would have my office in there and they have clients coming in, but I would have them coming one door, the other door.
And I have the big one, the one in the middle of the door.
So is that when you're saying that that piece, when that thing is built, it needs to come away from the alley?
Yeah, so,
2 feet?
so the situation is, they would, once they demolish it, they will have to reposition it, so they'll,
Okay.
yeah, it's gotta be, differently located than where it is now. Another thing that I wanted to mention is, for the zoning ordinance, accessory dwelling units cannot look like a single-family residence. So, I would recommend the removal of the porch, but that's just give or take.
Well, that's why I turned it and the doors don't face the street. So it doesn't have the semblance of a front door facing the street.
So that's why it looks like,
The,
It
when
looks
when
like
you
a
see it from the
side,
street,
it looks like
what
a
we did.
side porch to the courtyard space between the front house
Exactly.
and the back house.
Exactly, that was the
Accessory
intention.
structures like that, but that's just per the zoning ordinance, so.
Yeah, the intent of turning it that way so it doesn't appear to have a front door that leads to the street.
so does that make a difference?
No, only that it, this is still the front elevation, so this front's, this, you know, you're still seeing a porch.
Right.
So it still looks like a house?
It looks like a side porch, it does look like
Yeah.
a side porch.
Still
on
looks
the
like a
house.
house.
But we just approved the other application for the workshop with a tiny little porch on it too.
That also has a garage.
That has a garage door though, so that's clearly a
Yeah.
garage. Is this never gonna be used for parking? No garage intended?
No garage intended at all.
So what we're looking at is a cottage.
Don't say that around.
So without,
Just
I
say
know,
that.
I'm just saying, without the
Borrow.
shed roof on it, it just looks like an open deck. Because you still need stairs to get in there. Are you saying no entry there?
I would just recommend the removal of the covered porch.
Yeah,
So once you
The whole
remove
thing.
that, yeah,
yeah.
then it takes away the character of a single family, more so than.
Right, but depending on the grade of the land, there may or may not be steps to get into the door.
There might-
Yeah,
Oh my God.
there would probably be 2 steps, possibly
Wouldn't need
3.
a railing.
Hmm?
No,
If
no,
it's only 2 steps, it doesn't need a railing.
Right.
30 inches, or 30, yeah, 30 inches is fine.
That seems
Or a railing.
reasonable. I can't disagree that the current structure is unsavable and can be, you know, demolished.
Have you been in it?
I've been walking by that for 10 years.
Well, yeah, it's, honestly, I could probably push it over. I'm pretty big
Yeah.
and strong, and I think I could push it over.
Let's just
Is
go
the
over
tree
the
still growing
materials.
out of the top of it?
Yeah. It's actually probably adding structural support to that wall. I heard this from several neighbors that last spring, they thought it was on fire, and people ran over there, and it was just a termite swarm. It was that thick, and that heavy coming out of that
Can you
building.
tell me what these doors are in the left elevation?
That is, there's a small dugout area that I'm gonna put utilities in, and then those are doors that open 3 steps down.
Okay, so are they flush to, or are they at a?
They're flush to the wall.
And they go down.
Yeah, because there's a small utility,
Nothing
so,
comes up.
well, it'll have to contain a hot water heater and probably an air handler.
And they're constructed out of what material?
The door's wood, they're gonna be wooden doors constructed on site. They're custom. You can't buy doors like that.
The other question I have is on the right elevation, is that a 12 light? 6, 9, 15 light door with 1 side light on either side. See,
It looks like a sock, yes.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so I think I'd recommend either no side light or 2 side lights. So that one is inconsistent,
But doesn't it?
2 side lights?
or none.
Yeah, or none.
Okay.
isn't that still making it look like a house?
I think 2 side lights would be excessive. Personally, it doesn't fit the scale, but it's a consistent design. The right elevation is what's actually going to be what's on the parallel to the back side of the house.
The left elevation is what's gonna be adjacent to the street, correct?
Where the wooden doors are.
Yeah, because when you're facing, the porch currently is located, if you're standing on Nectarine, the porch would be on the right side, not facing on the alley, facing the house.
Oh, here's the look.
Right, so this is what you just, yes, we are recommending the removal of that.
Okay.
So then we can say removal of these side lights and just have entry,
Just treat it as a window.
Just treat it as a window.
Or you think it should be?
are these doors or windows? Am I misunderstanding? When I asked you about this line elevation,
This is a door.
these are doors.
That's a
They're
door.
doors.
Yes.
The reason there can't be a door here, if you look at the plans, is where the bathroom,
Right.
I know something, yeah, you can't. Locate there. Would you prefer 2 glass doors like it's that, and instead of a side light, I might. I don't know if we could get a standalone window. So, I don't know if we were two, second. They could write either 2 or not.
Right.
And two does, you're right, and it makes it look like
Yeah.
every entrance to a home.
Yeah.
Home entrance.
So would you be okay with none and just a glass door?
I can't speak for my wife, but I'm okay with it.
But you understand the reasoning?
Yes.
Because with the railing, it does look like,
But,
it almost looks like a duplex.
so we're saying
with
either
front
2
porches.
or none for the side windows?
No side lights,
No sign.
No side lights,
just a door.
just a door.
And your door could be that 15 pane glass door
Okay,
as it's depicted.
but no side lights.
Right.
If that has to be, I'll.
I know where you're coming from.
We're trying to stay consistent with the guideline and for the very same reason that we.
As I
against
said
the-
before, I was not asked my client. No, that's just my life, but yeah. I don't see a problem with that. However, she might want a small window to the side of that, then
But we're trying to not make it look like
Right.
a house.
If it
See,
looks like.
it needs to look like a
it looks like
utility
house.
door to an outbuilding, it's not
Okay.
supposed to look like the front porch
That's fine.
of a cottage. Right.
I'll make it work.
You do have some nice windows on the rear elevation.
Mhm.
Is the one tiny window there, is that to give light into a bathroom, or what is that
Which one specifically are you?
right here?
That is actually, you probably want me to delete it. It's an idea that for actually non-functional glass block windows, so that light in.
That's not consistent.
No.
Okay. I thought that might
You
get,
can
I
have
thought
a
that would
stationary
be.
window, you can have a stationary window,
Put a window.
but not glass block.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so. Application approved, motion to approve the application with the following changes. Bridge vent, elimination of the side porch, elimination of the side lights on the right elevation. Subject, height of the structure subject to the approval of the zoning administrator.
Zoning board.
Zoning
Board of zoning
board.
adjustments.
Okay. replace it with a stationary window.
Or solid wall.
That's on the rear
Yeah.
elevation.
On the elevation.
And right elevation, what was the motion?
Removal of the side lights. Entry door
Replace them
only.
with one door?
One single, no, one door on each side.
One door on each side.
The way the doors are.
The way the doors
just
are,
take
just
away
taking
the
the side.
side light things.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Remove that, remove that.
And you still don't think that makes it look like a house?
Well, he has to have ingress and egress. And
Those two doors go to the same place, right?
You're saying open floor plan on the
Right.
first floor, yes.
So you really only need one door?
Actually, the fire marshal would argue with you on that.
Okay. So
Because you're
not-
too far if you're in the back to a door out. or
There's no
upstairs.
egress out the other
And
side,
that's an issue.
so you need to have two, yeah.
It becomes a fire safety issue.
You probably have to restate that.
Yeah, restate the motion, please.
Okay. Just wanna make sure I'm not leaving anything out. Motion to approve the application 509 Nectarine accessory dwelling unit with the following modifications. Removal of the side porch as depicted on the front elevation. Change the circle louvered vent to a ridge vent. Remove the 2 door side lights on the right elevation and replace on the rear elevation the 8 panes of glass block to a stationary fixed window or some other complying window.
Motion has been made.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I look forward to it. Maybe the worst house, maybe the best house. Thanks.
So that's the one you're gonna work on first? What is the one that you have was fixed?
Two 213 Lattice, or we did that? That's everybody.
Did we do 265 notice?
Some of them were not.
Some of that.
Two were not.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Any other business? Announcements? Do you have announcements? No more meetings? Entertained a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I second.